Inverse proportion. And to start up, let's check this scenario. Helping the community. The grade 6 students were tasked to organize an event for the children of the community. They made a short presentation for the kids and prepared loot bags full of school supplies. Regina observed that a group of 20 students can pack a particular number of loot bags in 12 minutes. How many minutes would it take 8 students to pack the same number of loot bags? If 20 students could pack a particular number of loot bags in 12 minutes, then a fewer number of students would take longer to pack the same number of loot bags. Thus, a decrease in the number of people doing the task result in an increase in the time needed to finish the task. This is an example of an inverse proportion. In inverse proportion, an increase in one quantity means a proportional decrease in other quantity, and vice versa. Now let's try to check this table. In the first row, we have the number of students at 20 and 8, and it has a ratio of 20:8. On the second row, we have the time in minutes. For the first row, we have 12 and n for the second since it's still unknown, so we have the ratio at 12:n. When working with inverse proportion, invert one of the ratios with the same units when setting up the proportion. If we invert the ratio 12:n, we get n:12. So the equation becomes 20:8 is equal to n:12. And now we can have it in fractions as 20/8 is equal to n/12. First, we make a ratio for each quantity. The terms in a ratio should have the same unit. And then next, we invert one ratio and make sure that they are of the same unit. So now, we can just solve for the missing term like working with equivalent ratios. So we have 20 multiplied by 12 is equal to 8 multiplied by n. And that's also going to be equal to n is equal to 20 multiplied by 12 divided by 8. So 20 multiplied by 12 is equal to 240, and 240 divided by 8 is equivalent to 30. Therefore, if only 8 students were to pack the loot bags, it would take them 30 minutes instead of just 12 minutes. Keep in mind, in inverse proportion, an increase in one quantity means a proportional decrease in the other. When working with inverse proportion, invert the terms of one of the ratios with the same unit and proceed as in solving direct proportions. That's gonna be all for today. Thank you guys for listening and have a great day.